What is going on, guys? It's your boy Stephen Baker coming back at you again with another video. In today's video, we're talking about which training style, which philosophy of training is more optimal, Mike Mentzer or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, for those of you who don't know Mike Mentzer, he's the uncrowned champ of bodybuilding. He was robbed to Arnold by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Olympia when Arnold basically he had not been in bodybuilding as much, and he kind of came back in, wasn't at his prime physique. Mentzer was, and got a perfect score on the card by the judges, yet it was given to Arnold. And pretty much everyone in the bodybuilding community says he was robbed in that particular Olympia. And he also was the first guy to really incorporate, or well, I won't say the first, but one of the first guys to really incorporate science into his lifts. You know, he was the original More Plays, More Dates Greg. He was a smart guy, very educated, and incorporated science a lot into his training style. His training style, he believed in this very low volume, high intensity training where he would go to absolute failure. When I say failure, not just, oh, I'm tired. Like, he would push past the mental blockade of failure that a lot of us fall victim to when we go to failure, and go to the point where his muscles would just literally just give out. And he would only do 2 to 3 sets per exercise and work out about 2 to 3 times per week, but would go to such intense failure on each of these exercises that when it was the rest of the week, he just took to grow, and he experienced so much growth because he tore the muscle so much, by doing that low volume, high intensity training style. Now, granted, of course, there's beef with him and Arnold Schwarzenegger because of the robbery at the Olympia, but also because of their different philosophies in training. Arnold was someone who go to the gym twice a day, trained 4 hours, sometimes even 6 hours a day, and believed in being very consistent in the gym, long, grueling workouts and whatnot, and high volume. Like, when I say high volume, higher volume in sets. And, you know, you got to remember, both these guys were on steroids. So to follow one of these styles to the exact T as a natural is not going to be optimal. If you're not taking steroids, neither one of these styles is going to be the most optimal. Because Arnold, you're not giving yourself enough recovery as a natural, and Mentzer, you're not being consistent enough as a natural. Both these guys were enhanced, so they had steroids on their side. So if you're a natty, do not follow either of these training styles to an exact T. However, what I will say, and when I say exact T, I want to preface, like Arnold, both these guys have very, very good knowledge, obviously. What I mean is that they were doing things to win the Olympia and were taking steroids, and they knew they were taking steroids. They knew steroids helped them. Therefore, they were able to do things that a natural would not be able to do and get better results. And you need to take that into consideration when looking at their training style. Like going to the gym twice a day, pretty much every day, like 6-hour workouts for a natural, you're not giving yourself enough time to recover. So Arnold has steroids. He's able to do 4 hours for a 6-hour workout. Like, it worked for him because he was on steroids. The average human being is not going to have Arnold genetics, and also that's not taking steroids. Their body can't recover in that time period. So that's not a bash to either of them. It's just you got to be realistic about yourself. If you're not taking anything, then you can't like be like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym 6 hours a day, or oh, I'm only going to go 3 times a week, and get all these results and look like Mike Mentzer and Arnold. Like, it doesn't work that way. But in terms of who has the better philosophy, I think that the most optimal, or who has the most optimal training style. Let me rephrase. Not philosophy, optimal training style. The answer is in between. I think it's like literally smack in the middle. They're both very extreme. Like they're polar opposites. But I think they both have truth in their philosophies. For me personally, and I want to preface, everybody's different. There are universal facts at the gym about the gym and muscle growth, and there are like other facts. Well, I won't say facts, but as you mature in the gym, you realize that things that work for you will not work for other people, and vice versa. So when I say this, I'm saying what works for me. I am in the middle, but on a smaller scale. Like, let's scale it down to everyone that's in the middle, because most people are in between the two. If you really had to like say which one do you lean more towards, I would probably lean more towards Arnold's training style. For me personally, my body responds better to consistency and higher volume than the low volume, less frequency, high intensity. I don't respond as well to that. I know people who work out 5 days a week and have more of a Metzner-esque training style who are jacked and very strong and it works for them. That doesn't work for me. So everyone's different. Now, granted, I still incorporate some of Metzner's philosophies into my workout routine. He's very intelligent. Rest in peace to the guy. And he brought a lot of great knowledge to the sport of bodybuilding and to the bodybuilding community. For example, training till failure, especially when you're doing hypertrophy and accessory exercises like bicep, like a isolation exercise, like a preacher curl and whatnot. Very, very good results I've gotten from that. I like to train to failure on most of my exercises, accessory exercises. If I'm not doing a compound, I think it's optimal to train to failure. I don't do it for 2 to 3 sets. I might do a drop set. I might do 4 to 5. But I personally believe that training to failure, you do experience more growth, in my opinion, than for me personally. I've experienced more growth training to failure than when I set an exact rep range I'd go by. I have experienced more growth with going till failure. I will say that right now. So I incorporate each of their philosophies into my training style. And I think everyone's different. Everyone's bodies react differently. So what I recommend for beginner lifter is experiment with the styles and the knowledge and all these things, especially with these two philosophies. Experiment and find out which one works best for you. Because like I said, there are people I know that go to the gym 7 days a week that are natural and are big, strong guys. And I know guys who will only go 4 to 5 times a week and have more of a Metzner's training style that are big, strong guys. Figure out what works best for you, what your body responds best to, and then do that. But I think it's important not to neglect either one of these guys' philosophy. And granted, most people aren't going to neglect Arnold's philosophy, and most people who know Metzner aren't going to neglect his philosophy. But when you're looking at which one's better, I don't think there's a solid answer. I think they're different and they work, and some people respond to one better than the other. But I think the true answer for most people is in the middle. If you're not taking steroids, both of them are two extremes, and the answer for most people is going to be found in the middle. It's just that in the middle, on a smaller scale, which one do you lean more towards? That's what you have to figure out. And what you lean more towards will be what you respond better to. So figure out what you respond better to. I've explained to you the training styles. Incorporate these philosophies and methods into your own training program and see what works best for you. Thank you guys for watching.